The layers are meant to be chunked together so you can build a really strong identity. The first three layers are meant to be chunked together. So layer one, race the arc. So we want to make sure that we increase the pace of play so we can play against a disorganized defense. Until you get your team racing the arcs at an uncomfortable speed, you are not yet going to have an identity of a race and space team. Let me be real clear. No team stumbles into playing with pace. No team accidentally races. That's not what's comfortable. Now, you can accidentally stumble into playing slow. You can accidentally stumble into that, but it takes constant focus and encouragement and correction as a coach to play with pace. Everyone says I want to play more in transition, but it's hard. And it should be hard. And it's going to feel hard. Every practice is going to be hard if you actually want to be a race and space team. And you need to start to educate your players on these areas on the court and the actions associated with these areas. The moment, and I'm going to do this a lot when I watch your team's film, the moment that your team gets possession, made shot, missed shot, turnover, out of bounds, whatever, the only acceptable response for every player without the ball is head down like a sprinter out of the blocks, bolting to their spot on the other end. And looking back, you're not bolting, you're not racing. First three steps are a bolt to clear the bolt zone. Also, this is another key that's going to be a big stretch for you. It's going to unlock 10 to 20 more possessions per game in transition. Every player that gets a rebound or a steal must become their own outlet. What traditionally happens is players get a rebound or a steal and they look to outlet the ball to the point guard. There are not positions in the race and space, there's just roles. Every single player in the race and space gets a rebound, gets a steal, they peek up the floor for a 9, a wide open layup, and then it's their job to clear the bolt zone. They need to, wherever they get the ball, they need to be able to get outside the arc. Ideally, they're getting to the top of the key. Because here's the second key. We want to hit our racker, and I'll get into what the racker is, traditionally your primary ball handler. A race and space team hits their racker in the speed zone. Okay, so let me really unpack this concept here. We've constantly really celebrated and loved players that will pass the ball ahead in transition. Yes, but no. If your best creator is passing the ball ahead in transition, you're getting a net neutral. Because, yeah, you're getting the ball ahead and you're getting an advantage and the defense is more disorganized and there's more space. But the drawback is they generally are passing ahead to someone that's not as good of a playmaker, finisher, and passer. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to turn transition on its head, and it's going to take a lot of training. It's going to be hard, okay? Is we want everyone to be their own outlet. Basically, everyone becomes the traditional point guard that can clear the bolt zone, so that you're passing to your racker, not a point guard, your best racker, the person can get to the rack and make great decisions. We're passing the ball ahead to the racker. It's different, okay? The racker needs to catch the ball in the speed zone. The racker needs to catch the ball in the speed zone. If they're not catching the ball in the speed zone, we're not doing it right. So that means everyone's going to have to develop a skill of grab, peek, and break out with 1 or 2 dribbles. Everyone should be able to do that. That's going to help you become more positionless, so that then our racker catches the ball in the speed zone, executes a momentum change, which we'll go into down the road, but every racker needs to be able to make a momentum change where their momentum's taking them up the floor. We want our rackers to catch it on the sideline. Their momentum's going up the floor, and they make a change to get the ball to the middle of the floor. That's a mo change. That mo change gets them an advantage. That mo change allows them to get to the rim, okay? So that's a speed zone. Everybody else without the basketball, but the racker, no one else catches the ball in the speed zone, coaches. This is huge. If everyone hits the speed zone like they do traditionally and they're rubbernecking and putting their head back behind, right, it's impossible to sprint hard when you're looking behind you. You can't. It steals your momentum. The only way to sprint hard is eyes on the prize, and you sprint hard until you get there. Any player without the ball has their eyes on the prize, and their prize is their spot in transition when they clear the speed zone. There's another thing about race and space. I know I'm repeating some things that it bears repeating, and some of you haven't even heard it yet. There is no rim runner in the race and space. No rim runner. If we have someone run to the rim 100% of the time, that means the majority of the time there's also their defender at the rim. And so we're not going to get wide open layups. There's going to be someone there to contest it. We would actually rather have the front rim open. So there's 0 rim runners. But everyone's also a rim runner. That's what this read zone is. If you got your eyes on the prize and you're putting your head down, you're getting to your spot, which I'll get into the spots here in a moment. If at any point you see that there's no defender between you and the rim, take the rim. We get to our spots first, and then if we got open front rim, we take it. But we want to get space first so the ball can get to the rim, and then we want to be able to cut if the rim is open. So there's no rim runners.